you motherfuckers. How are ya? It's me, Thomas Johnson.
Jeff Key.
And this is the Godless Left. And let's talk about today's wonderful, wonderful subject on Bang Bang.
Mass shootings.
America's pastime. You know, I gotta let my fat man Lucius locks just loose here for a minute. I got something to say about this shit, because it's really fucking retarded. Okay? See, we had 2 mass shootings in what? Less than a week apart?
In fact, we had one today in Taft, Oklahoma.
Well, golly, someone's drinking the Kool-Aid. Honestly, people, we, as a country, are fucking retarded. Okay? Everyone else has gun laws. Put a fucking cap on the gun violence. We're the only country in the world that run around like fucking retards with helmets and guns. Freaking beans! But yet, everyone else got their shit together. Japan, Australia, the UK, Northern Europe, China, Korea. Sadly enough, Russia, but they're fucked off too. But point being,
most countries are fucked off in some interesting way or another.
But when it comes to gun control, they got it cornered. They got it squared away. You know how they do it? Gun restrictions. They're not going to let some dickhole go out and buy a fucking assault rifle and go, hey, come back tomorrow and buy another one. I'll punch your card and you get free ammo. Have fun.
Well, part of the reason we have that is the NRA.
Them lovely racist bastards who pose as being patriotic.
Yeah, you want to talk about how racist the NRA is? There was at least one time where they were actually in favor of gun control. That was when the Black Panthers started running around with guns.
But they had to, because they had to police the police.
Because their neighborhood was getting shot up by our lovely officers.
And it wasn't because they're doing their job, it's because they were terrorizing their community. Because back then in the 60s, we had that lovely Jim Crow bullshit going on, and the racism, and the fight for, civil rights. And back then, they made damn sure that no black person could legally own a gun, when they had every right to legally own one. So that's where all that crap happened.
What I've always found interesting, and why I bring this up, is because the only time the NRA has ever actively sought to control guns is when it was in the hands of black people. Hands of white people shooting up a school, they're not going to do anything.
And you know what's really fucked up? Every time a mass shooting happens, and a lot of people get hurt or killed, people have heartbreaks and sorrow and all that stuff, guess who comes with their little parade of fucking morons? The NRA. Case in point, down in Texas. Not even just a stone throw away from where they're at in Austin. They hold their little little powwow. Selling guns, mind you, in their little convention. And they're spitting out saying, oh, well, what they need to do is have more guns in the school.
Yeah.
They need more good people with good guns, not bad people with bad guns, because that is bad. So they need good people with good guns. That would stop that horseshit. I'm sorry, but are these people falling off the short bus here? Did they just fall off the back? And that's okay, I'll catch up. No. What the fuck's wrong with these people? Okay? I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
what they need to do is restrict more stricter gun laws. Put a restriction on what guns can be sold. Raise the age of people to buy certain guns, or flat out ban assault rifles.
See, I think that is a practical solution to these problems, but I think these problems come from something deeper than just who has access to guns and who doesn't. And we live in a country that glorifies violence. We have the largest military that has ever existed. We have people that are trained to kill.
And we have the biggest prison system in the world. Basically, we have more people in prison per capita. Okay? And not because... there's some people that are in prison for good reasons. I'm not going to lie. But a lot of people are imprisoned on trumped up charges that shouldn't be... that should got a fine or whatever. But the thing about it is a lot of prisons in our country are privatized systems, which means they profit on keeping people in the prisons. The longer they stay in there, the more money they make. And the problem with that is the longer people stay in a violent environment, they become violent themselves.
See, here's another issue we could touch on. The difference between retributive justice and restorative justice. Mm-hmm. The fact is that we have a large, massive turnaround rate when it comes to these jail systems. Mm-hmm. And that's because our jail systems are not designed to rehabilitate people.
Nope.
They're not designed to help people live a better life once they get out. They're designed so that they'll come back.
And it doesn't help the fact that when these people do get released, because they've been incarcerated, people don't want to hire ex-cons. So it pushes them back to their old routines that got them in trouble to begin with. That's another fucked up thing. How can someone go straight in there and go to straight and narrow and mind his P's and Q's if he can't find a job and get his shit together? If he can't find a job and get his shit together, he's going back to fucking rob or worse.
A lot of this, when it comes down to the prison system, comes to the drug war. A lot of it comes down to what's been illegalized, what's been made illegal, what's been made criminal within our country.
You can thank Nixon and Reagan for that shit.
Yep, you can. And the fact is, they didn't do it because they were concerned about the health of the country. They didn't do it because they were concerned about the moral well-being of the country.
They want to do it because they want to attack the minorities the best they can so to benefit them.
Yeah, they wanted to specifically go after poor black communities and hippie white guys.
Them damn dirty hippies.
Because the idea was, you can't criminalize somebody for being on the left. You can't criticize somebody for not wanting to vote for Nixon. But you can, perhaps, find certain things those communities might like and criminalize those things instead.
For a long time, marijuana was the big thing. And so, people that are caught with marijuana, even just for a fucking joint, they get the book thrown at them. And they get the raw deal. And a lot of people are still incarcerated for just said things.
Now, we've ventured a little bit off of what we originally talked about, but gun violence, right? Let's talk about that. The fact is that if you can't settle something in court because the matter that you're trying to settle contains things that are illegal, like drugs, how are you going to settle it?
Like the Old West. And that's
with violence, right?
Yeah.
And settle it with the law, you'll settle it with violence.
And you see a lot of that, especially in urban settings, in low-income urban settings where you see a lot of gang violence half the time, or a lot of drug activity and stuff. But here's the kicker, though. People always want to blame everything else than what it is. Case in point, Columbine. When I was in school, that was the biggest thing ever happened.
Yep.
Trust me, I was an outcast myself. And they were looking at me. I'm like, no, thank you. I do not like guns. You won't see me doing that crazy shit. I may be depressed. I may be a loner, but I'm not going to do stupid shit like that. I got my shit together. Don't worry. But the thing about it is, these kids were troubled to begin with. They're bullied. They've been messed with. The parents neglected them. The teachers didn't help them when they asked for help. And it was just building and building and building. Even though it was their senior year and they're getting ready to graduate just days away, they snapped. They lost their shit and went to the school and just unloaded on everyone. Problem is, okay, red flags all around. They could have just stepped in, talked to them, and listened to their problems and worked it out then, but they didn't. So when it happened, what did they do? Instead of taking responsibility for the neglect, they want to blame Marilyn Manson. That's the reason why they shut the school up. The thing about it was, they hated Marilyn Manson. They only liked one song, Get Your Gun. But even though I know the song title's like very blatant and all that, wasn't really what it meant.
Yeah, if you listen to our last episode, go and watch that one. We discussed that very briefly. It's about an abortion doctor named David Gunn, who was shot and killed by these pro-life motherfuckers. How ironic that they're pro-life when they're killing doctors.
Interesting. So, they blamed the music. They blamed the games that they were playing and the movies that they were watching, that they're obsessed with. But that was not the cause for them to do it. The cause was what they were dealing with. And the fact that their cries for help was ignored. And they got pushed over the edge. There were red flags all around that could have been stopped, handled, and dealt with. But no one did anything, and it led to what happened, which is a sad and horrible thing. But
here's another term. Have you ever heard of atomization?
No, do tell.
Basically, it is how the society that we live in isolates the individual, cuts them off from community, makes it so that people, they live by themselves, they die by themselves. Even if they have a family, they probably don't talk to their family about what's bothering them. They're supposed to be, especially in the case of men like ourselves, we're supposed to be strong, tough, never break down, never have any mental problems. Right?
I'm sorry, man, but I have issues too, man. Fuck you. Anyway.
You carry that shit. You don't talk about the things that are bothering you. And
the whole macho, real men don't cry, suck it up and take it like a man type deal,
And that shit can spill out in ways that are not fucking healthy, even if they don't involve shootings of any kind. Could involve just abuse at home.
Yeah.
Which can lead that younger person, those kids, to perhaps grow up and do that type of shit instead.
It is a fucking slippery slope, but the deal is, though, we are a nation that is batshit crazy right now, and everyone in the world is looking at us. Okay? And the real reason why things are not getting done right now, sadly to say, a lot of politicians that are fighting against gun reform are the ones that are getting bought off by the NRA. Because when it comes time for campaign season, NRA dumps a shit ton of money into funding the campaigns of certain politicians that fits their agenda. And if it's their agenda, they're going to push heavily to get them into office. Just so that they can have someone on the inside to make sure shit goes their way. That's the reason why no one got any progress on these gun laws. Because every time shit like this happens, like in Texas, Minnesota, Buffalo, California,
Oklahoma, today.
recently.
Very recently.
Doesn't matter what happens. Okay? Or
We
where.
have had about 213 mass shootings since May of
January.
this year.
This is May.
I mean...
So from January to now, we have almost 300.
That's what I mean, yes.
Roughly 300 mass shootings in a 5-month time period.
Yeah.
Only 5 months.
Yep.
Okay? We're beating our quota here, people. I mean, shit.
Now, if you times 30 by 5, you get 150.
Mm-hmm.
We're saying 213 shootings. That is more than one shooting per day. And these aren't single shooters. We're talking about mass shootings, which involve at least 3 people.
3 to 4 people per incident at the least.
Yes.
And Texas, that is like 21 people dead.
Yep.
Counting the children and the teachers.
And the cops just sat around and did.
They're sitting there, polished their barrels, just waiting for a moment. As the kids were literally calling the police. I was going to say something else. Sorry. Woo. Okay. But they were calling 911 multiple times while the police were sitting outside in the hall. But they were told not to enter. Okay? They could have just bust open that door, all of them at once, and just took out the shooter right there. But they didn't. And that cost 21 lives. And some of them kids literally had to cover themselves in their friend's blood and play dead just so they don't get shot by this nutcase. And the fact is, the guy even shot his own fucking grandmother.
Yep.
Okay? Stole the truck and then drove to the school and went hunting.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it hunting. I mean, it was more like playing duck hunt, you know? I mean, I'm not making a joke here, and so I'm just saying, you just sit there, boom, boom, boom. He didn't have to go anywhere.
Yeah.
One kid said that when he came into the classroom, he said, okay, it's time to die. Okay? This is where we're getting at, people. This is where our country's gone to. But yet, you have these right-wing militias proudly running about in support of these politicians who support the NRA. Heck, down there in Texas, the NRA was doing their little show. The Proud Boys is there, spitting their venom, yelling, cussing at people, praising whatever, you know, with their guns hanging around their necks.
You know what's fun about those guys? One of their initiation rituals is you have to list off 5 different brands of cereal while a whole group of them beats the shit out of you. That's their group.
Jesus Christ, man.
That, and they also very frown on jerking your sausage. Very against that.
Jesus.
Now, beating the shit out of each other, that's fine.
So I take it they don't want you to jerk off. They'll just do it for you.
Exactly. That's it.
You're a bunch of fucking retards. And here's the thing. Why do people need assault rifles? What's the fucking point in it? It's like guys buying these giant ass fucking trucks and soup them up so fucking big and fancy because they're compensating for something they don't have. Okay? It's like, look what I got, guys. You know, It's big, right? Nice and big.
It'll actually discharge.
Don't look down there. Look here. Look here. Not down there. Here. I wish my wife loved me. You know. Why the fuck do you need that shit? You don't fucking need that shit. I mean, it's retarded.
And to a large degree, I have been against bans of almost anything, short of child pornography and slaves.
Yeah, that shit.
But, that being said, I am looking more favorably on the idea of banning assault rifles nowadays.
They've been banned once before, and the violence was cut down significantly.
Because what I have noticed is the background checks, which I have always been in favor of, there are certain killers, there are certain mass shooters that if you look at them,
clean record.
No criminal record, no stay in a mental institution of any kind. They look like they're normal people. Until they whip out their guns and they start mowing motherfuckers down.
I would make a Pee Wee Herman joke, but I just know it's not the right time right now. But the thing about it is, people, we are, especially here in the South, good fucking Christ on a stick. I mean, these people sleep and fuck their guns if they have a chance to. I mean, I'm surprised there's not many, fucking ER visits where some fucking gun-toting bigot got his dick stuck in a barrel because he got turned on because of the newest model out there. I'm sorry, I didn't use enough petroleum jelly for this barrel. Can you get it out, Doc? And just pull the fucking trigger, boy. No, I'm fucking sick and tired of seeing this shit on the news. Just the other day, okay, my son is taught here at home, okay, because of his seizure condition. But the school that I get my work for him for, just up the road, had someone caught with a gun up there at the school. Okay? That fucking freaks me out. I'm glad he's home being taught because he didn't have to go through that shit. Because that would set his seizures off and fuck him up bad.
There is something that I posted on Facebook not too long ago.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's visible to anybody at this point or not. Because I tried to minimize who could see it. But what I said was that thoughts and prayers aren't going to stop a bullet from a madman's gun from entering a child's skull.
Exactly. You can sit there and pray all you want. Oh, Lord Jesus, please protect us from... By the time you finish... By the time, before you get to say amen, you already got a slug in your head.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the fucking point? I know you guys might feel like you guys have your beliefs. That's more power to you. We have our own. But the thing about it is, like I say to people about a lot of things, okay, whether it comes to natural disasters, tornadoes, rebuilding things from disasters, you can pray for someone to have better fortunes. You can pray for them to get better and all that stuff. But praying is not going to do shit until you get up off your ass and take action and get shit done.
See, I would, at this point in my life, not denigrate too many people for what they believe about God and religion or whatever, despite the name of our videos. But what I do believe is that the thoughts and prayers line, when it's said by these politicians in front of our news media, it's a buzz phrase. It's something that they can say to plaster over the fact that they're not going to do a goddamn thing to actually address what's happening here.
It's to pacify the situation long enough for them to get the fuck out of there, to get to their own safety, to get back to what they're doing. Back to what they're always doing.
Exactly.
Counting taxpayers' money. Oh, yeah, I'll give me that. Yeah, oh, yeah, I've thoughts and prayers, family, whatever. I wonder if that horror's available at 2 o'clock. Yeah. So, yeah.
Exactly.
What? Oh, sorry, honey, I wasn't talking about you. That's basically the deal. Ted Cruz got caught with his pants down at a restaurant.
Yeah.
That was fucking hilarious. Guy wasn't even harassing him. He asked him outrightly, point blank. What are you going to do about this?
Yeah.
We need to take action about this. And he's going back to the whole, well, we need to just focus on the one door, bottleneck, and just, no, we've done that. Well, we need to focus on mental health, and we need to do background checks. We've done that, failed. What else are you going to do? And he started fumbling with his words, fumbling with his dick in his hand, trying to figure out what the fuck to say. Instead of talking to the person like an actual human being, like the coward he is, tucks his little dick between his legs and calls for assistance to escort this person out the restaurant. Okay? He had 5 goons drag this kid out. As he was getting dragged out, he yelled out, "Blood of those kids is on your hands."
Yep.
Which I think is fair to say.
For not willing to look at the situation, not willing to address the situation, not willing to do anything about the situation.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Texas was the one that started the whole big thing of the anti-abortion bills and all that stuff?
Yeah.
They're about saving lives and all that stuff, right? They're about, we believe in the welfare of the children and all that stuff, but yet, guess what happened?
About 21 kids got shot and killed.
19, 2 teachers.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is, innocent children died after the fact. And they died from firearms that they're protecting. They're protecting all this shit.
When these fetuses are forced to come to term to become babies, to become kindergartners, to become kids in Texas elementary schools, what's going to happen then?
Look what happened. Heck, the cops didn't do a fucking thing to save those kids.
Now, the reason that I made that Facebook post harder to find, harder to see, maybe even impossible to see, is because I had one person reach out to me and tell me that it deeply bothered her. And I felt sympathy for that because she is a mother. She's a mother of kids that go to these schools. And what the fuck are we sending our kids into? For those of us who have kids.
I'm different from you, Jeff. You know me.
Yeah.
I'm like balls out on shit. I say my piece. I don't try to hide what I gotta say. I don't sugarcoat shit because it is what it is.
Yeah.
And whether people like it or not, it has to be said. And sometimes you have to shock the system to get them to wake up to see what truly is an issue. I mean,
sure, but what I'm saying is some of these parents, they don't need to be told it's a fucking issue. I'm sure there's a lot of them that send their kids to school every day not knowing if they're going to have their kids brought back to them or not.
I know, but my deal is this. Okay? Right now, you have a lot of people that are just willingly being ignorant to a lot of the situations out there.
Yeah.
And because you have a lot of these people spitting on these misconceptions and misleading ventures of what's going on out there, people are buying it to, just, one after another. But, me, I don't bullshit no one. Okay? You can hate me all you want. You can want to fucking lift my fat ass to burn me at a stake if you want. I'm going to tell you like it is. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm going to be straight to the point. Okay? And be honest, parents out there, they can pretend to be dumb to whatever's going on out there, but everyone knows what the fuck's going on out there. Yeah. Sometimes you just need to fucking give a little boot in the ass, wake up and realize, hey, this is a serious situation. Whether you're for guns or not, the point is we all need to get on the same page and understand that this is the situation at hand. Okay, we've done the background checks, we've done the fucking red flag deals, we've done all this other stuff. We've done everything except just outright ban these assault rifles. And when we did have them banned for a period of time, the violence went down. Cause and effect. It's blatant. It's right there. But greed and corporate, molestation of the Constitution, if you will, takes into effect. Everyone's like, oh, because it's some left-wing, Democratic, liberal, socialist, whatever. Cut the shit. Left, right, up, down, in, out, all about, all that shit. Fuck that. We are a country that's supposed to be united as one, not this whole divide that we have right now.
Oh, we're completely divided.
Oh, we are. No matter how much we try to fight it, and so we are divided.
Yeah.
And the problem is, this is what's keeping us from having any progression to do anything better for any of us. Whether it be healthcare all around, whether it be proper medicine, cheap medicine and stuff. I mean, good Lord, insulin.
Yeah.
Insulin is like a few $100.
Yeah, there are people that decide, this week, this month, am I going to get insulin for my diabetes? Or am I going to buy some food so I can eat?
Or pay on the electric bill so I can have some air conditioning.
Or buy the fucking gas in this fucking country at this fucking point.
Fuck, right now the price for gas is crack prices, man. I mean, I won't be surprised if I go out there and see some hooker out there. I suck dick for gas, okay?
Right.
I mean, shit. I'll guarantee there'll be a line, but people siphoning people's tanks for a blowjob, But goddamn, it's getting fucking crazy.
The only thing that hasn't gone up is our fucking wages. That's the only thing that hasn't gone up. We've had the minimum wage at $7.25 for over a decade now. Mm-hmm. Everything else is going up, but that minimum wage, and that minimum wage was supposed to be a life wage. It was supposed to be something that could provide a decent living to the people within this country. And there's not a single person in this fucking country that can rent a one-bedroom apartment.
I'm on disability.
40 hours a week at minimum wage.
I'm on disability, okay? Me and my son are on disability. Together, we make barely $1,400 a month.
Yeah.
That does not cover the amount for rent, utilities, car insurance, phone bill, none of that. By the time I get done paying with that, I'll be flat broke. And guess what? I'm staying with family right now just to be able to have a roof over our heads. And you know what the DHS gives us for food stamps? $25 a month. That's it.
Now to circle back to what we mostly have been talking about.
Yes, sorry.
How many people do you think become radicalized, made more extreme in their thinking due to bad economic situations?
A lot of people.
And there's a lot of people that will target minority groups because it's easier to blame those who have less power, who are already scapegoats, than it is to take on the big motherfuckers who are fucking everything up for all of us.
And that all started thanks to Donald Trump stirring up the hornet's nest that we thought was dead and gone a long time ago. Which racism is never really dead and gone. It's always still around. It's just...
The roaches used to hide in the dark.
But they have seen the light between the evangelicals of the far right, religious right, stirring the honey pot, if you will, or the kicking the hornet's nest, if you will, and then Donald Trump spitting out the shit that they would love to hear, and then that whole 2016 debacle where you have all these fucking beatnik wannabe racists with the tiki torches, because that shows how American they are.
Yeah, that was 2017.
Yeah,
and the interesting thing about that was David Duke came out to that.
Yes.
David Duke came out to that, and he parroted Donald Trump's election slogan.
Dude,
Make America Great Again. The white supremacist KKK fucker is saying Make America Great Again at the fucking Rally the Right rally.
And the thing about it is, not only that, the motherfucker had his hand into helping Trump with his campaign. Okay?
Yeah.
So that should tell you something right there. Okay? And the fact that between the two of them open up this can of worms, so now you have all these people getting radicalized. Now you have all these new militia groups connected with each other. Now more guns are being bought because I guess they think, oh, it's going to be a war. We're going to protect this. Again, all they are is a bunch of guys with small dicks trying to grab guns, compensate for something. Okay?
Let me tell you how much they care about that white race of theirs. The one person who died because of the Unite the Right rally was a young white woman named Heather Heyer.
Who was a school teacher who cared about people, period.
They were happy that she died. They were bragging about it. They were practically high-fiving over the fucking shit. They were happy when she died. She's one of your one of the members of the so-called great white race, right?
I wouldn't say it's so great to begin with.
No, I'm being ironic.
Oh, I know. I'm being. Goddamn, boy. Sorry, my son's over here talking from the other end. Why don't you go handle your business, bud?
It's headed for.
It leads to other things, especially when it's barking like that, buddy. Go handle your business, bud. Go.
But
Don't need you talking shit from the other end, boy. Go.
quit. At least showing me off.
I'm not showing you off. I'm just telling you go handle your business.
I don't have to go.
Check yourself, though.
Alright.
Sorry about that. Middle conversation, I was like, it's like, damn, boy. Anyway. No.
They don't just want people to look like them. They want people to think like them. And if you don't do both of those things, they want you to die.
Mm-hmm.
That's what these groups are.
And you gotta realize something. Groups like this, they literally, whether it be skinheads or right-wing militia groups,
Proud Boys,
Klansmen, whatever,
Yep.
these people focus on the disillusioned youth. Mainly, and that's what they focus on. And look what we got up there in Minnesota and Buffalo. Both of them disillusioned white teenagers, armed to the teeth,
Yep.
shooting at minorities.
Yep.
Okay. And the one in Buffalo written out his own fucking manifesto.
Yeah.
Teasing the FBI, saying, I'm going to shoot up the school and daycare and all this other shit.
Looking a hell of a lot like Dylan Roof. If you remember who Dylan Roof is. Dylan Roof was the guy who went into the church in South Carolina, I believe it was.
That synagogue?
Yeah. And shot up a bunch of black people.
Oh.
He was a white boy, sat down, prayed with them.
Yeah, I remember
and then
that.
took those guns out and killed them.
A lot of people are getting disillusioned and getting fed full of bullshit.
Yeah.
To where, it's bringing the shit that we thought was, almost snuffed out back again. And this doesn't help the fact that our country is dealing with the biggest gun issue in the world.
Biggest gun issue, biggest military budget, largest prison incarceration rate in the entire world. We have a problem with violence in this fucking country.
There's more guns than people in this country right now. That is a fact. That has been documented. It's been on the news. They did research on this shit. There's more guns in our country than citizens.
Oh, I can tell you something that's guaranteed to happen every day. I can tell you 3 things that are guaranteed to happen every day. A mass shooting, a veteran shooting themselves, and a cop killing somebody, probably unarmed.
All the lonely people, where do they all come from? I swear, man. I mean, people acting like it's the fucking Wild West, and it's not the Wild West. Wild West died out years ago. For good fucking reasons. Okay? Our ancestors are probably looking at us from the other side. It's like, what the fuck did we do wrong? Why?
Well, here's one thing we can look at. We can look at the founding of this nation. 1, we used guns to rise up against the British. So in a lot of ways, our country is founded on the mythology of guns and what they can do.
Mm-hmm.
2, once we were founded, we went ahead and damn near genocided the fucking Indians.
I would rather more say established than founded, but, same. But yeah.
We built this country on the slavery of black people, and we built the railroads from Chinese labor.
And Irish.
Yeah.
So basically, the country was established and built up on the blood of everyone else, So, talk about outsourcing your work and labor, but nowadays, talking about outsourcing your work and labor, you get a fucking call center in India, but at least they don't have to break their backs mining for you. But all in all, man, it is fucking horseshit that we have to go through this stuff every day, seeing on the news someone getting shot and killed. Multiple people getting shot and killed. More racism going about. More of these fucking dickless bastards playing G.I. Joe, beating each other off, showing off their preciouses, because they're compensating for something they don't have. They talk about them ghost stories about the mythical 6-inch penis, do they really exist? I'm not gonna lie. On my Instagram, I kind of trolled the Proud Boys a little bit.
Yeah.
I took some leather-clad men.
Quotes.
I took some pictures of leather-clad men, and I put their Proud Boys insignia on there. And they're in such a loving embrace and just all over each other. It's like, Proud Boys. They're so proud that they're proud for Pride Month, because Pride Month's next month. And I thought it would be hilarious to see how take.
No.
I had my picture taken down on Instagram because they do not allow pictures promoting hate groups. It's a satire. I don't see how it's hateful when you see a leather-clad man in his puppy little sub, wearing a puppy leather mask and the collar and leash, and it says, "Proud Boys, Proud Boys, Proud Boys, Proud Boys," because so proud they're out of the closet. Huh. Anyway. Just a little fun fact. Oh my goodness. But I do have something that my son read up. Where did I put this? Oh, go ahead, Jeff. Go ahead and say your piece.
Okay. Well, mostly I find that a lot of humor nowadays is derived from people trying to trigger each other.
I know. Don't worry about it. We'll do it. I'll read it off next time, Brian. I don't know where I put it. My son is dead set on me reading something for you people. Look. Just holding us up here a little bit. It's alright. So who's it?
Oh, wait, no, here it is.
Oh, here it is.
We found it.
Yay! My son's so... my son and I like reading comics, and there's some stuff that he found that kind of fits with things. Like, in one of the Punisher comic books we have, everyone loves Punisher, even those right-wing nut shits.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
they sport it on their vehicles.
I seen a motherfucker the other day had a Punisher skull with a Trump hairpiece on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? Of all the people that's like insulting. I'm a big Punisher fan, mind you, okay? And everything these people represent is the same fucking thing the Punisher hates. If you read his comics, you know his story, I'm sure the Punisher would have a bullet with their names on it. I swear to fucking Satan. But it says, I see it all the time. Most of the guys with the big guns are brave as long as no one's shooting back at them. Shoot back and they run. That's true.
Or they just stay outside schools while children get slaughtered.
Yeah.
There's always that option.
Yeah.
You don't run, you just stay away from it and you let them kill kids.
The point is, it's just one headache after another, people. Why have we let our country gone so far down the fucking drain? Literally. We allow these politicians to make these poor decisions, and we just let it, and a lot of us just, whatever. What are we going to do about it? Well, guess what? Midterm elections are coming up in November. Senate seats are up for grabs. Your governor's seat's up for grabs. I made a list of people that's running for both the Senate and the governor. I posted it on Facebook. And the reason why I did that is because we live in a very red conservative state. Where it's very red that it's just, it's like holier than that. Oh, Lord Jesus. Oh, praise our Savior Trump. No,
we're redder than communist China.
Yeah, that bad. Yeah, the thing is, people...
Just a different shade of red, though.
This is no lady in red bullshit, okay? I'm just saying. When it comes to political ads for candidates being running for Senate, Congress, whatever, it's always been a Republican ads because they're the ones that get all the funding, all the money. When you have Democrats, Libertarians, and Independents, they get jack squat. They don't even get a chance to debate on TV. They don't even get a chance to say a goddamn thing on TV, let alone the news. So you have to really dig deep and do your research and get every nook and cranny out as best you can to figure out who, what, where they are, what they do, what they mean, what they're going for. It sucks. And hopefully, by me posting that list, it helps everyone get an idea who's who and where they could go look for. That's the problem, though. People want shit to change and make a difference. Let's kick these motherfuckers out of their seats and try to get people in them that's going to actually do something. You know, what sucks for us here in Oklahoma, every motherfucker I see on TV that's running for Senate or for governor, I believe in Trump. I believe in Trump. I believe in Trump. God damn, how many motherfuckers drink that fucking Kool-Aid? I bet you Jim Jones is like in the afterlife. He's like, shit, I should have took this notes down years ago. God damn it. You know.
Here's the difference between you and I. I don't believe that voting, especially in Oklahoma, means a goddamn thing.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you vote in a red state or a blue state, unless you're really good at convincing other people and getting the word out, that state's going to go a particular way, and we already know which way that's going to go.
Yeah.
Now, that's just dealing with the party states. The swing states, it's a little different. But the way I see Democrats is primarily they may not always do bad things, but the good things they're in favor of, they're never going to do anything to actually support. So when you have one party that is ineffective, and the other one, which, according to Noam Chomsky, a well-known political commentator, is the most dangerous group of people, political parties, the world has ever known, because they're bordering on Nazism and fascism. Well, when one
Republicans.
When one side is ineffective and the other is Nazi Proud Boys, where do you think the country is going?
On a shit in a handbasket.
Pretty much.
So, either way it goes, we still got to make an effort to try to do what we can to make a difference.
I'd say talk to your neighbor. Find out who you're living around. Even if you disagree with each other on which flavor of Kool-Aid you prefer, the red one or the blue one, see if there's issues that you both can support. Rather that's medical marijuana, rather that's better gun background checks, rather that's healthcare, education for your children and theirs. Find out where you align with each other.
Find a common ground and then work together.
Exactly.
Because if you don't, then we're all just going to get run over.
Yep.
Because right now, I'm pretty sick and tired of Governor Shithead.
Yep.
Or Governor Stitt, for those of you who don't know.
Just call him Governor Shit. Compromise.
Yeah, why not? You know, Governor Shit. Because everything he does turns to shit anyway. But, you know, that one quote you wrote down wasn't a quote. That is a fucking section of a book.
Yeah.
You know, but this one thing kind of says it all. A war is coming. You lot all thought I was bad. Wait until you see the competition. That is a quote from a Ghost Rider comic book. by one of the bad guys named Mephisto. But point being is this. A war is coming. We are facing it right now. There's a war up there in the Capitol right now between Democrats and Republicans, bickering and fighting over who gets what, what's going to change, who's going to do whatever. Okay?
I'd rather, personally, if we are going to have a war of any kind, I would rather it was not left versus right. I'd rather it was those of us on the ground, under the fucking boot of tyranny, against those who are wearing that goddamn boot. I'm in favor of tearing down the elite 100 fucking percent.
Mm-hmm. Let's just put a boot right up their ass. Because the thing about it is this. In our Constitution, it says that if all else fails, when shit goes south and the system gets corrupted, we the people can unite, reclaim it, and start new. It says so.
And I'd say it's gotten pretty fucking corrupted at this point.
Oh God, it's been corrupted since the 70s.
Yeah.
Since Nixon, at least.
Yeah.
Because you got special interest groups dipping into the, fucking cookie jar.
Hell, I like Ike, right?
Mm.
Dwight Eisenhower was warning us about the military-industrial complex.
Yeah.
Back all that fucking time ago.
And
so the seeds have been there for a while. The problem is that they're coming to harvest at this point.
Yeah, I mean, the storm, they saw the storm coming. They're pointing it out, and so it's like the ending of the movie Terminator.
Yeah.
Remember? Sarah Connor's in the fucking Jeep and stuff. She took the Polaroid with that kid. The kid turned around and looked, pointed at the sky, and said Spanish storm's coming.
Yeah.
And his grandfather told her what he said and stuff. And you see this ominous thunderstorm peering over the mountaintops and stuff, coming down to the valley. Giving you an idea. After all the hell she's going through, it gives her a fucking sign that there's more to come. There's worse coming. Right now, with all the violence that we've been dealing with Gunn, with mass shootings and all that stuff, that is just tops it all. That just tops it all. And the fact that the politicians that we elected, more like the corporations bought and paid for,
yeah,
they're supposed to be doing shit for our benefit, but they're not. They haven't.
Because we're not actually the ones who got them elected. We're not actually the people that they value.
And that's...
The people who got them elected, the people that they value, are special interest groups, are corporations, are millionaires and billionaires that padded their pockets and helped them with their campaigns.
The evangelical right who wants their fucking propaganda spewed all over the world, all over the country, their opinions and their daily beliefs shoved down everyone's throats, like the issues of women's rights that's been snatched away. That's another example right there. But the thing about it is this. I know we're running out of time here. We're trying to get it all out. Breathe, hum. Okay. The thing about it is this, people. Okay. This is just one of the main things that sets everything off. Okay. Everyone says a big game. They said they're going to do something about this gun issue. But you know what? Every time they do, nothing happens. You know why? Because Big Brother tugs on the leash like, you want your allowance? You better shut the fuck up. So then the politicians cower back because they want that campaign money from groups like the NRA and the religious right and these big pharmaceutical companies and big oil and coal and all that other stuff. And that keeps them to shut the fuck up and just mind their business and do what they tell them to do rather than do what needs to be done for our country and for our people. That's why people are continuously getting mowed down by all these fancy automatic weapons. That's why families are still starving and going broke and going bankrupt. That's why people are still losing their homes, losing their cars, losing all this bullshit. And no one's helping. No one's helping at all. And they're blaming the war in Ukraine for all the prices going up. They're blaming the inflation for all the prices going up. No, what it is this. They're price gouging you.
Yep.
They're taking advantage of us because why not? We just dumped a bunch of money onto the people of the country. Let's take advantage of that ourselves. So now that we gave all these people all this money to help them out, let's fuck them in the ass and raise it up. That's what's going on. They're not going to admit it. They're going to point the finger everywhere else. That's what's going on. And that's been proven.
I am not in favor of our involvement with Ukraine. That is another issue that perhaps we can discuss another day.
Yeah.
But you're 100% right. It is price gouging. They know they can get that money out of us. They know that in certain places, certain states, like ours, like Oklahoma, you need a fucking vehicle to get around, to get anywhere that you need to go with any level of convenience whatsoever.
Especially if you need medical assistance, because some rural counties, closest hospital is 3, maybe 4 hours away. So you have to make that trip because, the paramedics won't be able to make it out there. And that's been proven before, too.
So they know you'll keep paying that gas price no matter how fucking high they reach it until you fucking can't any longer.
So let's just hope someone pulled their head out their ass and realized the seriousness of what's going on and we can get some progress on this gun issue. Knock on wood. So in the meantime, be careful out there. Watch your back. And be careful for the crack whores sucking dick for gas. Because that's bound to happen soon. I'm pretty sure. Because it is summer. And people do crazy shit in summertime. Heck, I've seen people suck dick for GWAR tickets. So... but it's GWAR, so...
So gas in this country right now, entirely possible.
Mm-hmm. If they're not sucking dick for cigarettes, they're sucking dick for gas. So, I'm Thomas Johnson.
I'm Jeff Key.
And we're the Godless Left. I'll see you guys next week.